Alright, so number 119. It says from a point on level ground 80 feet from the base of a building. So from a point on the ground 80 feet from the base of a building, the angle of elevation is 25.6 degrees. So the angle of elevation is 25.6 degrees. Approximate the height of the building to the nearest foot. So we're trying to find the height given the angle of elevation and the 80 feet. Okay. Why can you not see up there? Oh, I see. I see. No, that makes sense. Okay, so height is opposite and 80 feet is adjacent, so that would be tangent. So tangent of 25.6 degrees equals height over 80 feet. So if I want to find the height, I'm going to multiply by 80. And I'm going to make sure that I'm in degree mode. So mode, degree. And in order to solve for height, I'm just going to multiply by 80. So 80 times tangent of 25.6. And we get 38.3295, so 38.33 feet. So the height. Okay. So the height of the building is 38.33 feet. Okay. Number 120. Alright, so 120 says two buildings with flat roofs are 60 yards apart. The height of the shorter building is 40 yards. From its roof, the angle of elevation. Okay, find the height. Okay. So I've got a short building and I've got a taller building. And it says, okay, two buildings with flat roofs are 60 yards apart. And the height of the shorter building is 40 yards. And from its roof, the angle of elevation from the edge of the roof of the taller building to the edge of the roof of the taller building is 40 degrees. So this angle of elevation right here is 40 degrees. The question is, find the height of the taller building to the nearest yard. So what is the height of this building to the nearest yard? Okay. So in this triangle, this right triangle right here, I've got 60, the 40 degrees, and I want to find this length. I'm going to let it be x, because I already know this length, it's 40. So if I find x, I can add 40 and I get the height. So tangent of 40 degrees equals x over 60. So I'm going to multiply 60 by tangent of 40. So 60 times tangent of 40. And I'm left with 50.34597. 50.346. X equals 50.346, not feet, yards. But we are going to add that to the height. And so the height is going to be, or to the height of the shorter building, so 40 plus. So height is going to be 40 plus 50.346 yards, which, if it was my test, I would say 90.346 yards tall, but it does say to the nearest yard, so we're going to say 90 yards. So the taller building, okay. The taller building is 90, is around, I guess I should say. I will say about 90 yards tall. guess I could say the height of the taller building is about 90 yards. Okay. I don't like the wording otherwise. 121. You want to measure the height of an antenna on the top of a 125-foot building. From a point on the front of the building, you measure, okay. Okay. So, on top of the building, and then we have an antenna. Okay, that's fine. I will fix that. So the angle of elevation from a point on the ground to the top of a 125-foot building. So this is 125 feet. The top of the building 68 degrees, and to the top of the antenna 71 degrees. So and the question is, how tall is the antenna? Okay. So I've got a couple different measurements. The only measurements I really have are 125 foot and then the angles. So I'm going to let this distance be y, and I've got opposite and I've got adjacent, so I'm going to deal with tangent. So for the smaller triangle, for the 68 degrees, I've got tangent of 68 degrees equals opposite, which is 125, divided by adjacent, which is y. So I can solve for y. Okay. So if I multiply by y and then divide by tangent of 68, y equals 125 divided by tangent of 68 degrees. And I'll figure that out in a second. And then I know that tangent of 71 degrees equals opposite, which is x plus 125, divided by, again, y. And then if I wanted to solve for x, then I would multiply by y, and then I'll know what y is, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So I would multiply by y and then subtract 125, so x equals y tangent of 71 degrees minus 125. So multiply by y, leave it there, and then subtract 125, and then once I know what y is, then I can plug in y, and I've got x. So I know y is 125 divided by tangent of 68. So 125 divided by tangent of 68, which I find to be 50.503. So I'm going to leave that. So that's 50.503, and that is going to be feet. And then I'm going to use that, multiply that by tangent of 71 minus 125. So take that answer times tangent of 71. So times tangent of 71. And then I'm going to subtract 125. And I get that the antenna is 21.672. 21.672 feet tall to the nearest tenth of a foot, so 21.7 feet. The antenna is around 21.7 feet tall. Okay? Number 122. So 122, it says use the figure shown to find the bearing from O to A. So it gives me this right here, where the origin is right here, and this is 55 degrees, and this is A. The question is, what's the bearing from O to A? So bearing is always north or south, and then east or west, so you have to go north, and then you have to swing this many degrees east. And so if that's 55, then 55 plus 35 gives me 90, so it's north 35 degrees east. Number 123. Similar question. You've got this going on right here, and here's A, and they're saying this is 55 degrees, and here's the origin. So this right here, you have to go south, and then you swing 35 degrees again, but this time you swing 35 degrees west. Then 124. A ship due west of a lighthouse. A ship is due west of a lighthouse. So, ship, and then lighthouse. Ship 1, and then a second ship is 12 miles south of the first ship. So, okay, thank you. So the second ship is due south. So ship 2, 12 miles. And then the question is, how far, okay, the bearing from the second ship to the lighthouse is north 64 degrees east. So the bearing from the second ship to the lighthouse, so bearing from here to here is north, and then you swing this many degrees east, and so that is going to be north 64 degrees east. So the question is, how far to the nearest tenth of a mile is the first ship from the lighthouse? The question is, how long is this length right here? So what I know is, I know that in this right triangle, because this is due east and then this is directly south, that's a 90-degree angle, that I know opposite of 64 degrees, and I know adjacent, or I'm trying to find opposite anyway, so I'm going to use tangent. So tangent of 64 degrees equals x over 12. I'm going to multiply by 12. So 12 times tangent of 64. And that gives me 24.604. 24.604. And to the nearest tenth of a mile, so 24.6 miles. Okay, the first ship is around 24.6 miles from the lighthouse. Okay. Last problem, 125. From city A to city B, a plane flies 850 miles at a bearing of north 58 degrees east. So from city A to city B, we're going to travel at a bearing of north 58 degrees east. So north 58 degrees east to city B. Then from city B to city C, the plane, that's 850 miles. Let me go ahead and label that. From city B to city C, the plane flies 960 miles at a bearing of south 32. So 960. South 32. 960. So south 32 degrees. And if this is 58 degrees, alternate interior tells me that that's also 58, and 58 plus 32 is 90, which tells me that I am dealing with the right triangle. And it says A says find the to the nearest tenth of a mile the distance from city A to city C. So we're trying to find this distance right here. So what I know is that if this is a right triangle, then I've got two legs of the right triangle. So 850 squared plus 960 squared square root equals x. So I'm going to do that real quick. The square root of 850 squared plus 960 squared. 1282, man, you'll talk a whole lot. 1282.2. So 1282.2 miles, because it said to the nearest tenth of a mile. Okay, and it says what is the bearing from city A to city C? So from city A to city C, what I'm thinking, I believe that I'm going to have to go south in order to figure out, in order to go from city A to city C. If I'm wrong, then I'll have to adjust my image a little bit. But here's what I know. I've got this, if I'm trying to find, if the bearing is south, then it's south this many degrees east, right? But in order to figure that out, what I've got to do is I've got to use right triangle trig to figure out this angle in my right triangle. And if I can add these two together, then I can subtract it from 180 to get the bearing. Okay? So for this angle, I know opposite is 960 and adjacent is 850. So I know tangent of theta equals 960 divided by 850, which means theta equals tan inverse of 960 divided by 850. Do you want to see the key real quick?
Not really.
Okay. Okay. All right. An alarm went off at one point. Is this yours? No. This is yours. I said bye, kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, what that is in Shasta.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, so we're going to take the tan inverse of 960 divided by 850. You got your bags and everything? You took? Yeah, you just took that. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Was that just half of it? Was there 15?
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it?
We're done. Okay. All right, so I know that that angle is 48.47786 degrees. So this angle in here is 48.478 degrees. And if I add that to 58, so plus 58, then I see that all of this is 106.477. So I get 106.478, which means that this angle right here, I'm going to let that be alpha. Alpha equals 180 minus 58 minus 48.478 degrees, which equals sure. And that is going to be 73.522 degrees. Okay. So when I look at this image right here, I'm supposed to figure out the bearing from A to C, right? So if I find this angle and I know this angle, then 180 minus those two will give me this right here. 73.522 is less than 90, which means we are definitely going south. So it's south. So I would say city C is south 73.522 degrees east of city A. And that would be my final answer. And we don't have to do 126 or 127. So we're done.